As well, Cage, we're right. Special guest Tyson Edwards joins us in the studio thanks to a Weeks Peacock. Now, Weeks Peacock Building Group, Weeks Peacock Builders.
Can you put him on the straight and narrow?
Clear Weeks Peacock up for me.
Weeks Peacock will do the trick, mate. There are a few companies under the same banner, but I'm Weeks Peacock, so we'll run with that.
If someone wants to build a house, they just give you a call, Tyson, and you'll handle the lot for them.
We'll sort it out for them. They can design their own house or have a plan of their own, bring it in, and we'll help them out. But whatever, really, we'll accommodate. So.
Oh, all right, and give Tyson a call, 8292 7280. 8292 7280. See, I can do that without even looking at the number this week. Tried to confuse me with that last week. He thought I'd ring Mandy, so he wouldn't give me the number straight up. Mate, good news for the Crows. They signed Chrissy Knight's re-signed. He looks like one of those terrific athletes. Has he got a good ethic? Is he one of those players that's got the tools to be a top-line player?
Oh, definitely. I think he showed last year what he's capable of with as far as playing the forward line, kicking goals. He had a fantastic year last year. Had a few injuries this year, which held him back, but he's got a huge engine, big work ethic, and he's very dangerous in front of goal. So that's good for the club.
Gee, Tyson, I must confess, the longer it went, I thought that here we go, Christian Knights will go back home. It was mentioned that he did want to go back to Victoria. So for the club to get him to stay here, that is a big coup, I think.
Yeah, it is. He's very important. I mean, I think we missed him
this year.
Missed him a lot this year, and he's another quality midfield forward that goes in that forward line and takes pressure off someone like a Port Pleasure or Tippett or
kicks goals.
And he's a goal kicker and kicks them from outside 50 as well. So those sort of players are hard to find.
All right, they said they're going to be active in trade week. They need to. They haven't been in the past. Andrew Walker was in town yesterday talking with the Crows, a Carlton boy. Be a good pickup for the Crows?
Yeah, look, he's a very talented player, and I think he's struggled with injuries over the last few years as well. I think this year he's played a few more games and been a bit more consistent with that. So, yeah, he's talented, uses the ball quite well, and I guess he's played in midfield a little bit, but it's also sort of half-forward flank and half-back flank as well. So he'd be a good pick up for the club. But I mean, this time of year there's a lot of talk about a lot of players, but not much seems to happen. So, but if we could get him, that'd be good. That'd be good for the club.
And they've got to be active this year, Tyson. So far as trading is concerned, they haven't been active previously. Craigie hasn't been keen on it, but seeing that the draft is Gold Coast and Greater Western Sydney, they've just got to be active, and they've got to give something to get something. They've really got to be seen to be doing things this year.
Yeah, that's the hard thing I think for the clubs is
who you give.
They don't want to lose anything. That's what they want to get more on the positive side than the negative side. So I mean, it's a hard process, and Neil has never really liked the trading period because he's pretty loyal to his players and likes them to stay around. So it's a difficult one, but yeah, I think especially with the two teams coming in the next couple of years, you have to try at least anyway to see what you can do.
Exactly. All right, the clubs wanted the decision made on the rotations. Now the match committee met on it, and they put their views forward, and that goes to the next level, and then it goes past them to the committee, and finally they go, yes, there'll be a change, or no, they won't. But the draft comes up 4th to the 11th of October. The decision on rotations won't be made until after the 11th of October. Rotations, there's three options. I mean, well, there's four. You can leave it as it is. You can cap it to 80 rotations per game. They're saying, or you can have 3 interchange and 1 substitute, or 2 interchange and 2 substitutes. Do they need to cap it?
I don't think so. I think there's always a lot of talk, but there was talk years ago about flooding, and we need to do something to get flooding out of the game. But teams have found a way to get through the flood, and they've just got better skills, so they work their way through it. Now, with the rotations, it's a sort of a new thing. The AFL, I think, are pretty keen to jump on things and try things and change things and do all that, which I don't think is the right way to go about it. I think eventually it'll sort itself out. There is a lot of rotations, but the game's still good to watch. I don't think there's any more injuries or anything like that because of rotations, but it has changed the game a little bit. It's more a speed Dane Swan type player game. That's where it's sort of heading. But I like watching Dane Swan play, so it doesn't really bother me too much.
It'd be interesting to see what happens. I reckon also in the back of the AFL's mind is they're not keen on seeing all these rotations. It's in their view an ugly part of our game.
Yeah.
I just think that's part of their thinking, whether that's clouding what the end result will be.
Yeah, I mean, it's annoying. Every time someone kicks a goal, they seem to run off. I mean, you see that all the time.
Oh, you got him started.
No, that is ridiculous.
Well, it happens a lot, and it's I mean, I tend to think when the guys just kick the goal that they're actually in a bit of form and they're hot, they're on a bit of a streak. And I watch guys after they kick a goal quite often, and you'll see them be involved in the next part of the play pretty early.
Yeah.
I don't know why it happens, but I just tend to watch that, and it happens. So, but that's just the rotations. They've obviously told to come off before they kick the goal.
And what does it do to the opposition? Like he's a opposite player. Goodness gracious me. Bloody idea that is.
Well, let's move on from that quickly. It's been a bit fired up on that the whole year, Tyson, so if we can stay off that, that'd be pretty good. Big game this week, of course, Friday night, Collingwood-Geelong. A lot of people are saying this is probably the best game. Yeah. Unfortunately, the grand final might be a bit of a fizzer after that, but Geelong have had that aura about them going into the finals where they know they're better than everyone else. Has Collingwood put a dent in that?
Well, possibly. They'll be thinking about it a fair bit. I mean, Collingwood have been amazing all year. They've been the form team, and deservedly they've got the bragging rights, I guess. But I wouldn't write off Geelong at all. They're a fantastic team and have been for quite a few years. So finals wouldn't scare them at all. And I think their players will be really enjoying the challenge of taking on Collingwood on a Friday night in front of a big crowd. So it'll be a cracking game. It probably would have been good to see that as the grand final, but St Kilda have come good as well, I think. So, I think St Kilda will get through, and Collingwood or Geelong versus St Kilda will be a good game.
Tyson, a lot of people are saying whoever wins tomorrow night, Collingwood or Geelong, they'll win the premiership. But a lot of people have written St Kilda off, if you like. Don't think they can win the grand final.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably one of those about 5-6 weeks ago that I thought St Kilda might be in a bit of strife, but they've shown in the last few weeks that they're back, and Nick Rewalt with a few more games under his belt, how important he is to the team. Yep. So I wouldn't say that at all, but if I was St Kilda, I'd be hoping that Collingwood and Geelong have an absolute ding-dong.
Well, they'll smash each other.
And they're a bit sore for the week after, but no, I wouldn't say that at all.
All right, Stevie Baker has been out for 11 weeks now, so if they don't pick him this weekend, you'd assume they couldn't pick him if they get past the Bulldogs for the grand final. If you were coaching, would you pick him? You played against him, he's a...
you know what you'll get from him. Yeah, you know what you're going to get from him, and you'll cut someone out the game, but I don't know, having that long out of the game, and you can do as much training as you want away from, but it's not like playing a game, so it'd be a big call, and they'd obviously rate him pretty highly and have a fair bit of confidence in him to come back and perform, but I'd be questioning it.
Yeah, I'd be saying, son, just keep your boots in the bag for next year. Yeah. 11 weeks.
Can you see the doggies getting past them?
I can't. I mean, they were better last week. I actually thought Sydney would win, and they played really well to beat them. But I just can't see. I just haven't seen the consistency in their performances the last month or so. So
St Kilda beat the Bulldogs.
I think so.
Who'll win tomorrow night?
Look, I've picked Collingwood the whole way through, so I'll stick with Collingwood, but it's 50-50. It's going to be a cracking game, and whoever gets through is going to be a very deserved winner.
Well, we're going to talk to Tom Harley a little bit later on. I want to ask him this question. I want your opinion as well. A lot of talk about Dane Swan, and you've said how much you like him. It's hard to believe that Alan Didak could just be slipping under the radar. Yeah. Is he not equally as dangerous?
Oh, definitely he's dangerous. Probably just doesn't accumulate as much of the ball that Dane Swan does, and Dane does a lot of his work around the stoppages, which I guess gets the ball to someone like Didak. But round goal, I'd have him in my team. Yeah. Didak for sure. Around goals, he's so dangerous. He needs the ball 3 or 4 times. He can kick 2 goals in 2 minutes, and the game can change. So he's carved the Crows up a few times the last few times that we played him. So equally as dangerous, but you definitely take Swan over Didak at this stage.
Tyson, can I ask you another question? The players get 8 weeks break between the end of the season and pre-season training. Is that a long enough break when you consider the demands on an AFL player today and the amount of games they're playing, what's required from them? Is 8 weeks long enough?
Yes and no. I mean, 8 weeks. It is 8 weeks away from the footy club, but there's probably only 3 or 4 weeks where you're actually not training.
Yeah.
So it is a long time training, but I think I think it's long enough, but I think there's too much work done before Christmas as far as once you get back to training. I think the way we've changed our training over the last, once Neil brought it in, was using the balls, and I think we were playing equivalent of 2.5 games per week.
Really?
During pre-season, which adds up. So I think as long as I think the Crows are going to look at it this next pre-season is just to go a little bit easier in that area, and I think it'll help the guys.
Is that why they had so many injuries this last season?
Well, it's hard to measure that. I mean, to start with, that was the edge we had on the rest of the competition, because we were training harder than anyone else. We were fitter and that helped us win games. There's no doubt about that. But come finals time, when you're meant to be playing your best footy and feeling the best, then yeah, well, maybe it's got to add up at some stage. It's a long season as it is, so I personally, every pre-season at Christmas time, I was ready to play. I was ready to go. I didn't need any more pre-season. I was fit enough. I was ready. So there's still 3 months to go before you're playing a game. So as long as they adjust that a little bit, I think they'll be fine.
The Birdman off to Brisbane is the fitness man up there. We spoke to him yesterday, obviously pretty keen. I used to see him train with yourself. I mean, he's one of those super athletes, isn't he? Can you see him doing a terrific job in that area? Is he going to be one of those guys that says, run with me?
Yeah, probably.
And you've worked with fitness guys. Which one's the better? The one that says, come with me, or the one that stands there and says, do that?
Probably the one that says, come with me, because you know that they're working as hard as what you are. But I can see if he says come with me and stick with me, they won't be able to.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to have to slow down.
Yeah, he's going to have to back off a bit, which he'll find pretty hard, because he just can't help himself once he gets running. He loves the challenge. So, but he'll be very good in that role. He's had a fair bit of experience, obviously, with the footy club, and I know he's done a lot of training behind the scenes. So he'll fit in there. It'll be nice to.
Best athlete you've seen in your time? Would he be pretty close to?
Oh, as far as running goes, yeah, definitely. He's amazing. I mean, Nathan Bamburlo, it's not far behind him either.
Really?
When he first came to the club, he made a huge impression. The first session he had was a running session, one of our hardest ones, and he only flew in from Perth, the night before. So he had a shock in preparation and blitzed us all. So those two are fantastic.
Is he the next Crows captain?
Probably would be. For me, it'd be out of him and Rutten, as everyone keeps saying.
You wouldn't look at Vince?
Not yet. I wouldn't throw Bernie in that category just yet. He's a fantastic player, but I don't think he's quite ready for that role just yet. But Nathan or Ben would do a fantastic job. So.
Interesting.
All right, of course, if you want to get anything built in the area of houses, you need to get to Weeks Peacock. You need to call 82927280.
Tyson's your man.
Edwards will answer the phone. If you really want to get it built properly,
speak to
ask
his wife,
Mandy, and he'll get one built even better. That's Weeks Peacock, 82927280. We'll take a break. Coming out of the break, Tom Harley will join us. Tyson, thanks for coming.
Good luck,
Thanks, guys.